Hey guys, good morning. I'm super happy to see my Pilates peeps on a foam roll Friday. My name is Elizabeth and I'm your instructor, and you're in a Pilates inspired fitness class. And today we are using the foam roller. I don't know about you guys, but this always makes me happy. Okay, so we'll start today just taking that foam roller. We'll put it in front of us. One hand on top, other hand on top. Take a few steps back and then just slowly begin to reach those fingertips forward, framing the ears with the biceps, and then just slowly rock onto those toes, lifting those heels a tiny amount. And then rock back, lifting those toes a tiny amount, and continue. And just feel that terrific stretch in the shoulders and the back of the legs. Whew. For 2 and 1, and then softness in the knees. Let's roll up to a standing position. All right, guys, then we'll take the foam roller. We will place it behind us, fingertips facing up, and then let's take a step back, reach that foam roller behind, and switch. I said take a step back, but really what I mean is tap. All right, guys, this simple move will begin to warm up our body. Hi. Yeah, she's through the doors. Yeah. Okay, so warming up that body, and also we're coming into a heart opening sensation. And while we're doing this simple move, guys, I'd like to take this opportunity to request of you, as always, to please keep your workout with me today pain-free. So that means comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. So anytime you're feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing and do something different so those feelings go away. Thus, any modification at any time in my class is not only okay, it's encouraged, and that's exactly what I want you to do if that's what your body is calling for. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's hold that foam roller out behind us with one leg behind us. It doesn't matter which. And then we'll lift and lift and lift and continue. Yep, just warming up that back body before we roll out that back body. Feeling those triceps, feeling that booty area. Yeah. All right, guys, I want you all to know that I'm super happy to see you today, all my live students from all over the country. That is super cool. And if you're with me on YouTube, I'm super happy you're seeing me today. All right, I appreciate you dropping in and saying and training with me. For 2 and 1, let's place that foot down. We'll kick the other foot out and lift and lift and lift. Yep, and continue. So we're stretching out those little muscles above the chest in front of the shoulders. And that's helpful to maintain our correct posture, because when those muscles are tight, they round our shoulders forward. So we're undoing that. We're also strengthening the back. So when we stretch the front of the chest and strengthen the back area, again, that lends to that better posture. Whoa, I feel this quite a bit. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, then let's take this foam roller and we'll reach it over to the side. What side? It doesn't matter. All right, and I'll take that top arm, bring it up and over. Feeling that side body stretch, and notice how with this support of this foam roller, maybe you can get a little further into the stretch pain-free. That is particularly true, by the way, if anybody has scoliosis. Sometimes a support in the side body stretch makes the stretch more comfortable. For 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, let's take this foam roller in front of us again. One hand on top, other hand on top, taking a few steps back and reaching those fingertips forward. Now, we started just a few minutes ago with this stretch. Maybe rock forwards onto those toes and back onto those heels. And notice, guys, if it feels a little different, just after the short amount of work that we've done so far. Always interesting to know. For 2 and 1, softness in the knees, roll up to a standing position. Good. My back just popped. That felt amazing. Let's take that foam roller, put it over on the other side. Take that top arm up and over. Yeah, just enjoying that side body stretch. and breathe. Yeah, looking good for 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, we'll take this foam roller and we will place it onto the mat long ways, and then straddling the very front end with those heels, let's reach those arms forward. Then we'll bend the knees, keeping the booty back in space. Bend, 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 and find your booty on the very front end of the foam roller. Well done, guys. By the way, of course, any other way to get down is also fine. Let's kick those legs out wide. Make sure you're on the very front end of that foam roller, and then tuck the chin to the chest, gracefully roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way down. All right, let's keep those arms up to the ceiling. Please make sure your head is completely supported. And then let's just rock from side to side. Our legs are wide, guys, so we have a big, what's the word? A big base of stability from which we are operating. And breathe. Just allow those arms to sway from side to side. We have little muscles that go up and down each side of your spine. This is a terrific opportunity to give them a little bit of love. For 2, and 1, and come to center. Okay, let's open those arms to a T, palms facing up, and then we'll bend those knees, place those feet flat, and gently roll from side to side. And then using your hands man, words are escaping me today. I want to say using your hands like those things on outrigger canoes that stick way out from the boat portion that stabilize it, but I'm sure there's a much simpler word. Maybe using your hands for stability. Yeah, I think that's what I was searching for. You can begin to increase your range of motion. In other words, come further to one side, all the way out as far as you can, and then switch and continue. And notice how we are not only targeting the back, but now we're targeting that booty area, that glute area, which if you were with me for my classes this week, probably feels amazing. And just enjoy that and breathe. For 3 and 2. And the next time you're all the way out to one side, it doesn't matter which pause. All right, let's just hang out here on this side. So we are just finding stillness. Allow those shoulders to melt down and around. Those knees are dropped to the side to help stabilize you. Yeah, and we're just taking this static hold. And notice how in the oblique area, that is the area between your hip bone and your bottom rib, kind of on the center side, notice how you are finding a really terrific stretch in there. For 3 and 2 and 1, let's roll to center, and then we'll roll all the way over to the other side. Yeah, looking good, guys. And then we'll just hang out here for a minute. And again, notice how as your body settles into the stretch, how you're really feeling that terrific stretch on the side body. And you're feeling that really terrific, man, you guys, my coffee has not kicked in today. I really am having a hard time finding words. You're really feeling that, not isometric contraction, but that constant pressure on the other side of your spine and your head and that booty cheek. Okay, I'm going to blame the weather for having a hard time finding my words, because it is just so cozy that I think part of my brain is still cozy in bed. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, come back to center. All right, guys, from here, we'll reach those arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. And then, guys, keeping those arms straight, let's reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then keeping those arms straight, release. and do it again. Reach those fingertips up to the ceiling and release and continue. So this is called protraction and retraction of the shoulders. When we release, let's also begin to press the shoulders into the foam roller and then lift those fingertips up to the ceiling and then press those shoulders down into the foam roller, all the while keeping those arms straight. Going for that shoulder mobility. Woo! Yeah, and breathe and just enjoy the sensation for 3 and 2. And the next time those shoulders are down, pause. Let's reach those fingertips back behind us. And reach those arms up to the ceiling and then reach those fingertips down towards the mat by the hips and do it again. It is like we are making big rainbow arcs with those arms. Yeah, and just enjoy this sensation. Also, if you were with me this week, your triceps might be talking to you a little bit. So just moving these arms through space and reaching those arms overhead probably feels pretty good for that triceps area. That is the back of the arm, upper arm, by the way. Cool. Yeah, I woke up this morning, I was like, my triceps are saying hello to me this morning. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, come to center. And then, guys, let's pivot those palms up towards the ceiling and we'll lower those arms down to the mat. And then let's try to bring those pinkies towards the foam roller underneath you. So those palms are facing up and your elbows are near to the foam roller, as are your pinkies. And we're just going for a big heart opening here. And if you think about it, guys, this is the exact opposite of sort of that gorilla posture where we're rounded forward and the backs of our hands are facing forward. So we've got those arms way behind us and those palms are facing forward. And then gently rock from side to side if that feels good. And again, really noticing that stretch that you're feeling across the upper chest in front of the shoulders. This is the best thing I have found lying on the foam roller long like this and just going through different movements or even just lying still. This is the best thing that I have found that has been most effective for me to help to undo that rounded forward posture, which, by the way, I have a curve in my spine that goes that direction. So I constantly have to work to undo that. So yeah, and then working with clients too. I've had a lot of clients that have come to me with that really rounded forward posture. And then after spending time on the foam roller consistently for a few months, it begins to lessen and they begin to become much more upright. So that's pretty rewarding to see. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, come back to center. All right, let's open those arms to a T, palms facing up. Lower those elbows down towards the mat. Yep, and then guys, keeping the arms on the mat, let's just think about bringing the elbows down towards the heels. So we're not moving our arms very much. It's almost an energetic move. So really what I'm after is in that idea of bringing those elbows down towards the heels, what's actually happening is we're coming back into a little bit of that protraction, retraction of the shoulders, but from this different angle, we are accentuating that, that correct posture. Definitely still going for that shoulder mobility, but also really going for that better posture with those shoulders down and back. So just enjoy that for 3 and 2 and 1 and release. All right, this is so amazing. I kind of don't want to pull us off of the foam roller, but there are a lot of other things to do. So let's gently roll to the side of the foam roller, rolling onto the mat. Yeah, and then just lie flat. Just lie flat, rolling the foam roller to the side, open those arms to a T, take a step apart with those feet, windshield wiper those knees from side to side, And just feel that sensation in your body after being on a foam roller. Should feel pretty good. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Let's take that foam roller, guys. We're going to hold on to each end of the foam roller with the arms straight overhead. All right, and then let's reach that foam roller back towards the ground behind us, and then reach that foam roller up towards the ceiling and down towards the thighs, and do it again. Okay, adding on to this, maybe this is all you want. If you want a little bit more, guys, as you reach that foam roller to the thighs, come into a crunch position with your head, neck, and torso, and lower down, and do it again, and continue. Yeah, so coming into an abdominal crunch, but I want you to think about a slow abdominal crunch and use this foam roller as a little bit of weight to make this movement more challenging than it needs to be. So I know you guys are super strong. You could do crunches all day long, but what I'm asking you to do is really slow it down and see if you can identify with the muscles that are working in your midsection area with the assistance of the light weight of this foam roller. For 3 and 2, looking good, guys. And the next time you're up, stay up. By the way, if it's better for you to lie your head flat or lace those fingertips behind your head, please do that. Let's tap the foam roller with one knee and then the other, and switch and continue and breathe. Yep, loving what I'm seeing. And then if you want more, guys, you can keep those knees in contact with the foam roller to start with, and then lower one knee and then the other knee. And I'm actually going to go back to the earlier version, and I'm going to lie my head flat. So that is an example of me practicing what I preach and modifying. I know it's so hard for us to modify sometimes. In the studio, I was talking with someone the other day, and she's like, I know I need to modify, but it's a struggle every time. And I'm like, I hear you. I know what that's like, but it's so worth it to modify so we don't injure ourselves in our attempts to improve our health. Kind of funny, huh? Yeah, loving the variations I'm seeing. Everybody looks awesome. I'm seeing legs moving all over the place. I think I'm seeing a puppy. Yeah, there he is on screen. Love it. And breathe for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's place both feet flat, guys. And then take that foam roller and place it under the feet. Yeah, I said so, feet flat, when actually our feet are going to be slightly rounded because they are resting on the foam roller. All right, let's take a step apart with those feet. Open those arms to a T and begin to swish those knees from side to side. So we did this earlier with our feet on the ground, and notice how it feels a little different with our feet on the foam roller. Oh, for 3 and 2 and 1, come to center. All right, guys, let's reach those arms down to the mat by our hips. And just for fun, we'll pivot those palms so they're facing forward. And then keeping the head down, keeping the head down, let's just press our feet into the foam roller. And notice how that recruits a bunch of muscles in the back body, lower body. So in other words, the hamstrings and the calves. And then if this feels safe and you want more, take an inhale and exhale. Begin to lift those hips up to the ceiling. And then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you're all the way down, let's take an inhale. As you exhale, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae and lower down vertebrae by vertebrae and continue. So I'm saying vertebrae by vertebrae. Hinging is also an option if that feels better for you today. And it does for me, so I'm doing that. But if coming up and down vertebrae by vertebrae feels good for you, then do that. So that would mean your back is kind of like a rocking chair, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Hinging would be more like a teeter-totter. And breathe. Yeah, and notice how you're feeling those muscles in the backs of the legs. We're going to add on, but you can take a rest at any time or continue with an earlier version at any time. The next time those hips are lifted, keep them lifted. Let's bring one knee into tabletop, put it down, other knee into tabletop, put it down. Continue alternating from side to side. Yeah. And if you want more, guys, let's, as you lift one knee, reach the opposite arm up to the ceiling, and then switch and continue. Really feeling that back body. Man, my foam roller is not, this carpet feels especially slippery today. Oh, that's why I'm on the carpet, not on my mat. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1, lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And take a step apart with those feet and windshield wiper those knees from side to side. For 3 and 2 and 1, come back to center. All right, guys, let's kick those legs out long with those calves resting on the foam roller. All right, yeah, looking good. Calves resting on the foam roller. And then let's just swish those legs from side to side, rolling across those calf muscles, and then pause and slightly roll the foam roller up. Yeah, and continue. I love what I'm seeing. And breathe. All right, and roll it up a little bit more. All right, and roll it up a little bit more. So the only thing here, guys, is we want to avoid the back of the knees, particularly if anybody is pregnant, definitely avoiding the backs of the knees. We do not want to mess with the pressure points back there. And continue. All right, guys. So I'm going to give a few options. You can continue with that, what you were just doing, or keeping the head down, you can hover those hips and gently rock from side to side. And roll that foam roller up and down and rock from side to side. Actually, this feels really good going for that spinal rotation too. If you're twisting your body as a unit, and for correct form here, whatever feels good for you. That's the goal here, is to massage out those calves in a manner that feels good for you. The only thing for correct form here, guys, is we're avoiding the backs of the knees. So that's the rule. Other than that, just enjoy the sensation. Oh, the other rule, I guess, is if the hips are lifted, the head is down. Yes, so there are 2 rules. Other than those 2 rules, just move in a manner that feels good for you. And you can flex those feet and point those feet. You can make circles with those legs. Yeah, so just whatever feels good for you. Circles with those feet for 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, let's bend the knees, pushing that foam roller up towards the bum. And then we'll lower the thighs over the foam roller. Keeping the head down, let's lift the hips, and you can just kind of tick-tock those feet from side to side. And maybe move the foam roller down just a couple of inches and tick-tock those feet from side to side. So pretty much the same 2 rules apply to rolling out the backs of the legs. So those rules are, as you probably remember, but I'll tell you again because that's my job, is we're avoiding the backs of the knees. And if those hips are lifted, the head is down. Other than that, just take a moment and make this feel good. Whew. Yeah. Feels pretty good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Yeah, loving the variations, guys. Okay, let's lower the booty if the booty is lifted. And then keeping the head down, lift the hips, roll the foam roller. Let's roll it all the way up so it's underneath the tailbone area. Okay, and then we'll bring both knees into tabletop. All right, from here, place your fingertips onto your abdominal area, and notice how you can feel those muscles in your abdominal area fired up. All right, guys, and then let's lower the toes of one foot and switch and continue. Again, you guys are super strong. I know you could do this all day long, but I want you to make it as challenging as possible and use your fingertips, guys, pressing those fingertips into your abdominal area as a guide to help you really get in touch with the feeling of those abdominal muscles working, not just a little, but a lot as you're going through this exercise. Whew. Hollowing out that belly, navel is tucked to the spine. While we're doing this, we're strengthening our legs and our midsection. And we're also, guys, inherently in a posture correcting exercise because our hips are forward more than our torso, which is the opposite of us in our daily lives, where that torso leans forward over those hips. Curiously, I am feeling my shin muscles quite a bit. So just notice what you're feeling. For 3, hollowing out that belly, and 2, you guys have beautiful legs. I'm seeing legs moving all over my screen. And 1, and let's bring those knees into tabletop and find stillness. Let's flex those feet and point, flex and point, and continue. Yeah, looking good. For 3, and 2, and 1, pause. Okay, guys, and then let's drop both knees over to one side. It doesn't matter which. Come to center, drop those knees over to the other side. Holy cow, come back to center and continue. All right, so now we're getting a terrific massage on that glute area. Again, which might be talking to you from our classes earlier this week. I mean, we've been doing this, what, for like 2 years now-ish. Ever since everything shut down, we've been meeting on these Zoom classes, and I love that we can still, challenge our bodies in different ways so that we get a little bit sore. That's kind of cool. A little bit of soreness is okay. It's what helps us build that muscle. Woo! All right. For 3 and 2, and come back to center. And then if you need to reposition that foam roller so it's stable underneath you, go ahead and do so. And then let's take those legs up to the ceiling, open those legs like scissors, and then, excuse me, bring them down and around and continue. So in other words, we're coming into circles. If you wish, you can make large circles. If you wish, you can make small circles, whatever feels best for you. Yeah, so the idea of feeling a little bit sore after a session, that's called DOMS, D-O-M-S, which is short for a delayed onset muscle syndrome. And what actually happens, guys, it sounds really violent, but it's a good thing. All right, let's pause and reverse the direction of those circles. Is our muscles, they get little tears in them. And that's what causes that sensation of DOMS, that delayed onset muscle syndrome. And but it's a fabulous thing because as they heal with the scar tissue, our muscles get stronger and bigger and more defined. So that's how that works. I think there are some facials nowadays that kind of use that same idea for the collagen and the skin. I'm not talking as a Pilates instructor here. I'm talking as someone who has done some research on that. I think they kind of anyways, just interesting. Similar idea to build it up, to have it strengthen as it heals and give us the desired results. All right, for 2 and 1, and pause. Let's come into a Pilates V, guys. That means the heels are together, the toes are a few inches apart, and our feet look like a slice of pizza. Bend those knees in towards the chest, those knees separate. Kick those legs out long and away from us, and do it again. So we're keeping those heels together. As we bend those knees in towards the chest, those knees separate. So we're creating some really terrific synovial fluid in our joints here as we're going through all these different ranges of motion. That synovial fluid is the body's natural lubricant. So that's a good thing. All right. And then notice the direction of your circles and pause, and let's reverse the direction of those circles. Yeah, and breathe. This always reminds me of riding a really weird unicycle with the heels glued together. One of the neighbor kids where I live rides a unicycle, and like I'm so amazed. Like how does that happen? It just seems so challenging. All right, for 3 and 2. All right, listen for the change. The next time those knees are in towards the chest, pause. Okay, we're in our Pilates V. Let's kick those legs open wide like scissors and straight. Keep those legs straight. Bring those heels together away from you in your Pilates V and bend the knees into the chest. And then open, down and around together and bend the knees into the chest and continue. Yeah, so oh, you guys are adorable. I'm seeing all these legs doing like froggy kicks and breathe. I love it. And notice the direction of your froggy kicks because we're going to reverse the direction. And breathe for 2. And the next time those knees are in towards your chest, pause. And then let's kick those legs out long, open, and then bend. Yeah, and then kick out, open, and bend, and continue breathing. Woo! You know, I love that that I get to train with my friends, and I feel like after all this time that we've been together, you guys definitely are my friends. There was a period where when everything was super locked down, the only people I saw in life, other than my husband and my kid, were you guys, as we would do our Zoom Pilates classes. So that's pretty cool. I'm so glad that even though things are starting to open up, we're continuing with this, because I, for one, think it's pretty awesome. For 3, and 2, and 1. Let's take those legs up to the ceiling. Legs are straight. And then let's begin. You can hold on to your foam roller to keep it stable. We'll tick-tock those legs from side to side. This is similar to what we did with our knees bent. Actually, it's the same, except with our legs straight. Notice how the oblique muscles are working harder, and we are feeling a more firm massage sensation. And breathe. Yep. Woo. For 3, and 2, and 1, come to center. Let's bend those knees and put those feet flat. Lift the hips, remove the foam roller from under the hips and lower that booty down. My back just popped. That felt amazing. All right, guys, switching gears. Let's press ourselves up into a seated position, or you can do a roll up if you want. I guess this is a Pilates class. Then take the foam roller. We're going to place it behind us and lower back so it's about in contact with our bra strap area. Okay, yeah, looking good. Nice to see all your faces. Okay, let's lace those fingertips behind the head, lift those hips, and roll forwards and backwards over that foam roller. Yep. Now, the only rule here is we're avoiding that waist area. And breathe. One of my students is getting mauled by her pup. It's like the cutest thing ever. And I imagine that another of my students has her cozy dog curled up on the bed right next to her. Yeah, I see that thumbs up. All right, guys. And just enjoy this massage. I love it. Yeah, and breathe. All right, and continue. If you find yourself traveling and getting stuck in a corner, just take a moment and reposition yourself. Yeah, that always happens to me. I always get stuck in the corner. And breathe for 3, and 2. Okay, and find stillness, guys. Wherever you are is fine. And then finding that stillness, let's pivot the elbows over to one side and then over to the other side. And notice how now you're still massaging those muscles in your back. But rather than massaging the length of them, you are massaging going across them. Whew, and just enjoy. And then pause and then roll up or down just a little bit. And do that again. Whew. Yeah, notice how if you're up near the shoulder area, notice how you can really get into those little nooks and crannies in that shoulder area, just giving those shoulders some love. And then guys, just begin to move freely. So you can roll forwards and backwards while you're rocking from side to side. If you find a spot that's kind of like a zinger spot where you're like, whoa, that's pretty sensitive in there. If you hang out on that spot with that blunt sort of pressure and then just gently manipulate your body so you're staying on top of that spot, but you're just moving around on top of that spot just a little bit. You might begin to experience a release. So just take a moment here. Yeah, so your job is to make this feel good, whatever that looks like. And for this sequence, the only rule is we're avoiding the waist area. All right, guys, so continue as you wish. I'm going to progress on with the cues. Let's take those feet and step them to the left, and then position our body so that foam roller is actually at an angle across our back. And then you can gently rock from side to side. Yeah, really getting into that shoulder area, and literally from a different angle. Feels so good. Sometimes it hurts so good. Woo, breathing. And then if you are doing that, let's come back to center, walk those feet over to the other side, finding that different angle on the back, and just gently roll over that area. Oh my gosh, you guys, time is flying today. Woo. For 3 and 2. And 1, and then let's come back to center, guys, and roll that foam roller up towards the top end of the shoulders, and then lower your head down and around, lifting those hips, and just enjoying that good sensation for 2 and 1, and then let's roll ourselves forward, coming all the way to a seated position. Yeah, feels great, huh? I know, I'm feeling it too. Okay, switching gears a little bit. We'll take this foam roller and it's across our body right behind us. Place the hands back behind, bend those knees, feet are flat, and crab walk yourself. Or in another manner, find yourself seated on your foam roller. So I want those arms behind you and those feet in front of you. Okay, so then. Let's roll forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. If your wrists are talking to you, you can come onto what we call gorilla fists, such that your wrists are straight. Let me say that a little differently. For a lot of people, you're able to come onto gorilla fists. I know that doesn't work for everyone's anatomy. And breathe. Yeah, and if it's uncomfortable to have those arms behind you and you have like a little, well, I doubt you'd have a box, but sometimes putting something like a little box behind, or maybe some pillows or something that you can rest your elbows on, that's an option. Or dumbbells, yeah, thanks for that. I saw that. Dumbbells also work. Oh, Catherine, you're multitasking, playing catch with the dog while you're rolling out your glutes. That's so funny. And you are breathing. Okay, let's take that left ankle, cross it over the right knee. And then let's scoot to the left side of the foam roller, and then take that left knee, drop it over to the right. So we're really massaging out that side glute area. Oh, and breathe. Loving it. Yeah, looking so good. Lynn, I feel like you're scooting back further and further. I'm like, at first I saw all of you, and then it was just half of you, and now I'm just seeing your face, everybody. And Lisa, you look perfectly centered, massaging out those glutes. Loving it. And Bev, you look like you are definitely enjoying that. All right. Okay, let's pause and uncross. Scoot over to the other side. Cross the other ankle over. So that would be the right ankle over the left knee. Bring it across and begin to roll out that other side. And continue. Big sigh and breathe. Just enjoy that good sensation, that good feeling. Oh, and breathe. Yeah, looking so good. Man, these muscles get so tight. I was watching some of my favorite body workers. They have a YouTube channel. Bob and Brad, they call themselves the most famous physical therapists in their own opinion. They're hilarious. I don't know, from Oklahoma or Kansas or something. They're really funny. But anyways, they were talking about how these tight glutes and hamstrings really can cause a lot of back pain and just get everything out of whack in the spine. All right, guys, before we move on, just take another moment here and just move freely, massaging out these glutes. Yeah, and breathe. And enjoy. Oh, wow. Maybe notice if you feel, like I said, like one of those little zinger spots. And if so, just hang out on it and just kind of move your body gently across that spot. Ooh, man, sometimes I feel like there's such a loud clunk clunk. I feel like I can almost hear it. Yeah. Again, I kind of don't want to move on, you guys. Everything on this foam roller just feels amazing. Like literally, I woke up this morning, and because it's a little cooler in Southern California today, and my bed is so cozy. I got these like super soft blankets. I was like, oh, it's gonna be so hard to get up. And I was like, hey, it's Foam Roll Friday. I was like, oh, okay, that makes it a little easier to get out of bed. All right, guys, I know I said just another moment. Let's take one more moment here. I can tell you guys are all really enjoying this. I remember probably years ago, I was in the studio with Catherine, and we were foam rolling. And I asked her after class, I said, how do you feel? And she was like, I feel great, except we didn't do our glutes. So it's kind of funny. Every time I see Catherine, I'm like, definitely got to roll out those glutes. It's funny how different things stick in your brain. Whew. All right, guys. And 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, next, let's remain seated on the foam roller. Scoot over to the left side. Straighten your right leg. So I'll say that again. So we're scooting over to the left side. We're straightening that right leg, and then take that left leg and bring it over to the right. Okay. And then, guys, so this hurts so good, just in advance, just so you know. And then let's take that left hand and we'll bring it over to the right, wherever makes sense for you. And then we can begin to roll out the length of the side of that right leg and into that glute area from a slightly different angle. Yeah, so seriously, this frequently hurts so good. So if this is a little bit too much, guys, you can press your weight into your left foot, and doing that will decrease the amount of pressure between your body and the foam roller. And just enjoy and breathe. Yeah, enjoy might not be the right word here, actually, guys. Woo. Yeah, so hang out here just for a moment. Yeah, I'm seeing some modifications. I love that. Different variations. Looking good. Oh, Lynn, you're like totally like just traveling throughout this class. It's so funny. All right, and then let's come to center, and then we'll scoot over to the right side of the foam roller. Kick that left leg along, take that right leg, put it over, and then pivot on to the side, and then roll out that area. By the way, you can also do this with your knees bent if that feels better. So as you guys know, this time is for you. So make this as meaningful for you as possible. And breathe. Oh, yeah, again, that's so sensitive. I think I'm going to stick in the glute area on this side. Woo! Yeah, loving it. Oh, man. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, guys. Next, let's come back to a seated position on the center of the foam roller, and then just roll forward. Yep, so we're coming off of the foam roller. Man, just sitting on the mat after all of that work, I don't know about you guys, but these muscles feel a lot different. So let's do a little test and actually notice how different they feel. So let's just place those feet flat and windshield wiper those knees from side to side. And notice if that booty area and those muscles in that booty area feel different than they did. We did this move a few times earlier. So mine certainly do. They feel They feel like they've gotten a really fabulous massage in all the right places, which is cool because I was in control of the massage. So that's kind of nice. For 2 and 1. Okay, taking the foam roller, we're going to place it over under our side body area. Actually, we're not going to do that. Sorry, guys. We'll roll out our thighs instead. So let's position ourselves. So the foam roller is in front of the knee. So the rule here, guys, is again, no pressure on the knees. And then let's come forward and drape our thighs over the foam roller. All right. And then let's roll ourselves forward and back and forward and back. So this is a lot of curl in the spine with the arm straight. So if that's not feeling great for you, or for any other reason, if you wish, you can come onto those elbows and breathe. I'm seeing ponytails and ankles and love it. Woo! Rolling out those quadriceps. And then if you come into, remember that Pilates V, guys, where the heels are together and the toes are apart, you will target that inner portion of the quadriceps area, maybe getting a little bit of your adductor muscles, ADD. And then if you come into the opposite of a Pilates V, like a knock-knee pigeon toe type position, you can target a different area of the quadriceps. Yep. So just again, make this meaningful for you. I'm going to throw out some options. Let's pause, find stillness, and then bend those knees and straighten, bend and straighten. And then let's bend the knees and swish those feet from side to side. And then maybe as you're doing this, you can roll forwards and backwards and continue breathing. Oh, I just remember, you know how sometimes when you have really weird dreams and you forget and then suddenly you remember? I remember it, I was meditating in a cave in Vermont, and there is somebody who actually did that, who Bev and I know, named Nina. That's so funny. I haven't thought about her in years, and suddenly she's in my brain. Yep. I don't know why I just shared that with you, but I did. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1 and pause, and then let's lower down and come back to our all fours position. Okay, from here, guys, let's carefully, you can use your foam roller for assistance or not, however you wish, come to a standing position. Ooh, let's take that foam roller, put it in front of us, kind of like a cane, and then let's take the opposite, so it's on one side, doesn't matter which, and then take the opposite leg, kick it back behind you. Grabbing onto that ankle, that foot, that pant leg, or if that's not available, it's just bending the leg back behind you. And then let's take that foam roller, reach it forward, kick that back foot into that hand. And if you want more and you want more of a balanced challenge, you can release that foam roller, reaching the opposite arm forward, kicking that foot into the hand, balancing, breathing. You guys look amazing for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Gracefully come to center. Good job. Let's take that foam roller over to the other side, and we'll kick the opposite foot into the hand, and then we'll take that foam roller, reach it forward, reach that back foot into the hand, kicking that foot into the hand, take that opposite arm, reach it forward, maybe, if that feels safe. Woo. And breathe for 4. You guys look like you are determined to spearhead your way into your weekend and have a fun weekend. For 2 and 1, and gracefully come to center. Really well done. And then let's take a moment, girls, swing those arms from side to side. Notice how you feel. I feel fantastic. I hope you guys do too. For 2 and 1, come to center. Reach those arms overhead. Drop those shoulders. Curl those fingertips over. Tuck the chin to the chest. Roll down. vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way down. And just take a moment and get the wiggles out, whatever feels nice for you. For 2 and 1, find stillness and then softness in the knees, guys. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Last to come up is that head. And then bring those shoulders up, back and down, one more time, up, back and down, and walk into your weekend with your awesome posture. Thank you so much for joining me for Foam Roll Friday. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And if you're with me on YouTube, consider subscribing. I'd appreciate that.